In the small, tight-knit town of Glenwood, whispers of a ghostly menace spread fear. A tale echoed through the ages, about a ruthless butcher, aptly named the Glenwood Slasher. Some 20 years ago, a young, astute detective, Joseph Bishop, pieced together a series of gruesome murders, leading to the capture of Ethan Voss, the Glenwood Slasher. Voss was an unassuming local carpenter, whose penchant for macabre slaughter shook the community to its core. The sentencing was swift, and Ethan was consigned to life imprisonment, his monstrous deeds locking him away from society. Over the years, the town slowly healed, with Joseph retiring from the force. He hung his badge and settled down to enjoy a peaceful life, the memory of Ethan fading, becoming mere whispers in the town's folklore. However, tranquility shattered one dreadful evening when news broke of a prison escape. Ethan had disappeared. Dread quickly encroached on Glenwood, the ghost of its past returning to haunt. The whole town hunkered down, barricading themselves in their homes. Everyone, that is, except Joseph. His once dormant sense of duty sparked back into life. He knew, deep down, he was the reason for Ethan's revenge. His nightmare had just begun. On the first night, Joseph's electricity flickered out. Assuming it was an issue with the power company, he lit some candles and tried to get some sleep. However, a chilling breeze ran down his spine when he found a carpenter's tool embedded in his backyard, a clear message from Ethan. Every night that followed was a horror story unto itself. He'd wake to find his livestock slaughtered, their blood painting macabre silhouettes against the barn walls. His doors would mysteriously creak open, untouched food on his kitchen table would vanish, and he could swear he heard soft, muffled laughter from the darkest corners of his home. The town was paralyzed with fear, but Joseph refused to be bullied. He remembered what it was like to face the Glenwood Slasher and wouldn't allow himself to fall prey to Ethan's psychological terror. One night, Joseph set a trap. He spread rumors of leaving town out of fear, hoping Ethan would seize the opportunity to strike. Instead, he waited, a loaded shotgun in his trembling hands, his heart pounding against his ribs. Hours turned into an eternity before the silence was broken by a faint scratching at the front door. The knob twisted slowly, the door creaking open to reveal the monstrous silhouette of Ethan Voss. "You should have stayed retired, Joseph," Ethan hissed, stepping into the dim light. Joseph fired, the deafening shot echoing through the house. However, Ethan was quicker than he'd anticipated. He dodged the bullet and lunged at Joseph. They crashed into furniture, their grunts and curses filling the night. A fierce struggle ensued, with each man vying for control. In the melee, Joseph managed to grab a fireplace poker, swinging it with all his might. It connected with Ethan's head, sending him sprawling onto the floor. Joseph rose, gasping, looming over the unconscious Ethan. He dialed the police, his eyes never leaving the fallen monster. As he awaited their arrival, he felt a shiver run down his spine. The nightmare was over. The ghost was finally put to rest. The town breathed a sigh of relief, a newfound respect for Joseph filling their hearts. But, Joseph knew he would never be free from the memory of Ethan Voss, the Glenwood Slasher. The echo of his menacing laugh, the cold eyes filled with hate, they were etched onto his soul, a permanent scar. The horror was over, but the story of the escaped killer who returned to torment the man responsible for his capture would become a part of Glenwood's folklore. The tale would serve as a chilling reminder of the nightmare they had lived through, and the man who stood tall when the ghost from the past returned to haunt.